If your son starts out strong, but never finishes things that he started, or gets motivated just a few days before or right at that last minute, then falls back into his old ways and habits, this video is exactly for you, parent, educated, teacher, leader, whomever. Because the problem isn't motivation. This is what I discovered, God. It was never motivation. It was simply discipline. We just had it all wrong and looked at it differently. And most parents are accidentally teaching boys how to depend on their feelings versus being disciplined instead of structure. Guys, watch this. Discipline is never a feeling. Let me give you a perfect picture, something that you probably never thought about. Motivation is like a battery, and it will drain you if you let it, right? But discipline is the wiring, the inner working that makes everything go and functions properly. It keeps working even when our emotions change, even when we don't feel like it or we do feel like it. That's why discipline creates what I like to call maintain stability. So how do you build that discipline in our young men? I got the answer and I'm going to give it to you, right? It's three important things. Number one, number two, and three. First, we got to stop over rewarding with emotions, hoping that they do what we ask. Everything cannot depend on if you feel like it or there's a reward attached to it. Because leadership is not built on feelings or emotion. It's built on responsibility and doing what has to be done, regardless of how we feel sometimes. Secondly, it's about building the right routines. And routines are not speechless, right? Most boys don't need another lecture. They don't need to be yelled at or cursed at. They need more structure, more focus, a framework. Wake up times, training, and schedules that works. Study routines that complements their character, right? That complements their abilities. Because structure is what creates the discipline that we all want to see in our students and our sons. Thirdly, is normalizing discomfort, understanding that it's not easy, but it's a life. Teach them the hard things, right? Things that are supposed to feel hard, right? That's why everybody doesn't have it. That's where growth happens. The gym is uncomfortable. And Lord knows I know. Leadership is uncomfortable. Dealing with people from all personalities and background can be difficult. But accountability is uncomfortable, but it helps build real growth. But to avoid discomfort creates weakness and weak men. And that's more of what we don't want, guys. Here's the uncomfortable truth every parent needs to understand and process correctly. A boy who never learned discipline will constantly struggle, will constantly battle insecurities, and will battle inner turmoil that they should never have to choose from. The confidence is built through keeping promises to yourself, standing on your word. And when a young man becomes disciplined, focused, and aligned, that's when everything changes. That's when we see the growth that we've all been waiting and wanting. But his focus has to improve on his emotional stability. And that's where his compass will continuously increase in every facet of life. Like his leadership begins to develop and he see the changes day in and day out. This is not about creating perfect boys. Let me be very clear. This is not about creating perfect boys, but it's about developing strong young men who can lead themselves effectively and then influence others the right way. When his life gets difficult, the discipline kicks in and help him to be better, even when he doesn't feel like it or mentally understand. It's what carries a young man farther than motivation ever will, right? And if this has helped you in any way, guys, if it's helped you in any way, please follow and subscribe for more. Because in the next episode, I'm going to break everything down even further on why so many young teenage boys struggle with that discipline, struggle with the confidence that they all need, and struggle with standing out amongst their peers and being a man amongst men. And that identity that they mistake, most parents would never even notice. But guys, I want you to focus on for the next, let's give it 30 days. Let's give it 30 to 40 days. Let's make it super simple. We say 30 days, right? Help that young man, whether he's your son, whether he's a mentee, a mentor, whether he's a student that you see tremendous potential in. For me, it would be Elijah, right? One of my students and mentees that I'm working with currently. Elijah has all the potential in the world, But he suffered from this syndrome that a lot of our young men have today that I once had when I was a younger man his age. And it's called laziness. Not incapableness. It's called laziness. And we all suffer for it. But guys, what I want you to do is for the next 30 days, let's make it non-negotiable for them to make their beds if they're not making their bed. Let's keep it super simple, because watch this. We can't do big if we can't do small first. I'm going to say that again because that's very important. And a lot of us overlook it, right? We cannot do big if we can't master doing small first, right? And so the program that I have him on is this. Every day, it's a non-negotiable. I'm going to check in with your parents. I need you to make that bed every day. Whether you want to, whether you understand the importance of it, whether you value it or not, I need you making that bed every day. Number two, secondly, guys, he knows this is the format. This is our methodology. This is our philosophy, right? At Kingmaker Academy. Number two, I need you doing at least 25 push-ups every day, regardless of how you feel, what time you went to bed, what time you woke up, whether people get on your nerve, whether you do want to go to school or you don't want to go to school. I need you hitting that floor and I need you pushing that up, son. We doing 25 push-ups every day, because I know once a young man begins to develop his body and move his body and see just how his body begins to change over time, that compound effect of being consistent and doing something so simple as 25 push-ups every day, the way he's going to feel, the way he's going to think, the way his body going to change, he's automatically going to begin to say, you know what? I like this. I feel good. I'm getting compliments for the first time in my life and my body is changing. And girls are looking at me now. Before girls may not have looked at me, right? So it's a non-negotiable that they begin to do something small and simple and effective as just doing 25 push-ups every day. And then lastly, this is my deal breaker. All my mentees know, all my students know, anybody I have an opportunity to work with is this. They know that number one, readers are leaders. This is one thing I will bend with a lot of things, right? But when it comes to this, guys, this is my deal breaker. This is where I draw the line in the sand. This is my gun line, is that readers are leaders. So I have my young men every day. We need to read for at least 30 minutes a day. And so I know I get it. 30 minutes a day might be a lot in the morning for our students because they're not used to waking up early like we do as adults. But I want them reading something in the morning. I don't care if it's 1 minute or 10 minutes. I need you reading something positive, something impactful, something that's in line with the man that you want to become. And I need you doing that every day before you leave your home. And then throughout the day, towards the end of the day, yes, come back and get that 20 minutes and let's get the 30 minutes. But I don't want you stepping foot out of your house if you haven't read anything and started working on your PMA, your positive mental attitude. I need you framing and setting the tone for your day, doing your personal affirmation and getting ready to dominate and having clear goals and structure on how you want to approach the day, how you want to show up for the day, right? And so these are the things parents, educators, coaches, thought leaders, whomever that work with youth in general. I want you to guys take this challenge. Don't give them an easy way out. Don't let them get off the hook. If they miss a day, okay, so what? Let's get right back on it the next day to maintain the discipline that we're trying to build and institute in our young men, right? And so number one, let's keep it super simple. Number one, make sure that they make that bed every day. That's very important. Because as men, we need to have structure and we need to be disciplined. We need to take care of our environment. We need to keep things clean. We need to keep things sanitary, and we need to respect ourselves so other people can respect us properly, right? So make sure they're making that bed every day. And then number two, guys, make sure that they're doing those push-ups. Mom, dads, uncles, aunties, grandma, cousins, play cousins, big cousin. Make sure they're doing them push-ups every day. I don't care if you got to feel and squeeze their arm, and make sure they all got a little pump on it, right? Make sure that they are doing those push-ups every day, because it's going to build structure, it's going to build character, and it's going to make them feel good and build that confidence that they need, guys. We want them showing up to the world like the men that they are. Before they even know it, they need to show up like that. And one thing that changes your psychology and your attitude, guys, is always working out. Think about it. The gym is the only place in the world where everybody holds the door for the next person, whether you're black, white, green, or blue, old, young, middle-aged. It's something about that gym culture where everybody just seems to be in a good attitude and opening doors for one another and looking out and smiling, right? And then lastly, guys, make sure that they read it every day. I love you to life. I am Cedric Washington, and I will see you on the next one. Please comment.